Weight loss surgery is an option for some people who find it challenging to shed those pounds on their own. So the Hospital of St. Raphael has launched a new effort for folks to pair up and lose the weight together. It was a success story for couples like Janet and Kelly Curtis. Now this is a photo of them before the surgery. Take a look at them now. Look at them. Don't they look fabulous? Also with us is Dr. Jeffrey Nansom, a weight loss surgeon at the Hospital of St. Raphael. Welcome all of you to the show. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just really quickly, how many pounds did you guys lose?
About 100.
About 90.
90 pounds. Yeah. All right, so Dr. Nansom, why launch a program aimed at putting together couples and other family members?
Well, we've been doing surgery at St. Raphael's for weight loss for over a decade. We have about 4,000 patients in our database. And recently we've noticed that patients who go through this procedure together, they both choose weight loss surgery, sometimes different choice of operation, do better with weight loss than those that go through it individually. And so we looked at that, we looked back at our numbers, and there are other studies out there that show that even if just another family member, not necessarily the spouse, has surgery too, that they lose 30 or 40% more weight than if they did not. And even their reduction in their hypertension, diabetes, all that stuff is better if they go through it with a partner as well.
Why do you think it is better when they go through it with a partner?
I think there's a built-in support structure. I think that they change their life together. There's more sympathy for the other person, and they don't come home to a husband or a wife that's eating off a big plate and eating things they can't have. Both of them really change their life together, and they move through the process.
Right, Janet and Kelly, why did you guys decide to do this together?
Well, I actually went first. And mine was because I just wanted to live a lot longer. I was having a granddaughter, and I wanted to be able to sit down and play with her.
So how did you convince Kelly to do it?
Well, actually, go ahead, you could.
Well, I was against it right from the get-go.
Oh, you were?
I originally was against it, and then Jan wanted to do it, so I said, well, maybe I'll look into it too. So we had both gone together to the different seminars. And when I had gone, the big thing was diabetes. I've been diabetic, insulin dependent for 15 years, and I've been on a pump for 5 years after that. And I didn't care about losing the weight. I figured I was born fat, I'm going to die fat. But I wanted the insulin. I had enough of the insulin. And they were saying that it would reverse. There's a chance of it reversing the insulin dependent, the diabetes.
So when you heard that, is that what convinced you?
It didn't convince me right away because I wanted to do it, but there were no answers as to why it works this way. And to this day, I still don't think they know. But through case history, they said that it works. So I said, well, let's give it a shot. And I knew how well Jan had done on it. So I said, okay. So about a year and a half later, I finally got all my things straight and ready to go. And I did it after seeing how well it worked with Jan. And now we're a support group. I mean, no pun intended, we feed off each other. She helps me when I'm having a hard time with it. I help her when she's having a hard time with it. There's less garbage in the house, very little food in the house. It works very well.
But so, are you no longer insulin?
No more insulin. I take 1 pill a day. It could be a little bit better, but it's much better than it was. I mean, I notice a ton of difference.
And Janet, what was the health reason for why you wanted to do it? Was there a health reason for you as well?
Well, I had sleep apnea, and you know, it was just better. I knew it was time. I wasn't happy. I was no longer happy.
So, Dr. Nansom, do most patients have health issues, and that's why they choose to go with a weight loss surgery?
Yeah, most patients will come in with some health issues. The big three are diabetes, sleep apnea, and high blood pressure. And they get better with these operations. So most will choose it for that reason. Others will choose it because they want to play with their grandkids. They want to go horseback riding, get on airplanes, not feel uncomfortable. And that's their choice. And as long as they are medically appropriate for surgery, I think that is their personal choice, and it's a good one.
Now, they both chose to have a gastric bypass?
No, they chose separate operations.
Really? Explain.
Yep, so Jan went with a gastric band.
Oh, band,
and
okay.
Kelly went with a gastric bypass.
Yeah.
The band is an operation that really will wrap the top of the stomach. So when the food hits the top, it stretches a little, and then it feels as though the whole stomach is full, and they eat less.
And that's the band that Janet went
That's the adjustable band. The bypass is the most, I would say, aggressive of the weight loss operations, where we cut the stomach into the size of an egg, and we bring up a loop of bowel so that the food that is eaten doesn't get absorbed as well. So that operation tends to lose the most weight. And then there's an intermediate operation called a sleeve operation, where we just make the stomach into a tube, take this part of the stomach out entirely, and food slowly moves through. And that is the most kind of the most recent operation, and the one that is really becoming the most popular. And the weight loss is nearly equivalent to bypass.
So why would somebody choose a gastric band versus a gastric bypass?
It has to do personal choice. If they can choose a band, it's a 45-minute operation versus 2 hours, so it's clearly an easier operation, but requires a bit more compliance afterward, a lot more watching what they eat. But if they are willing to do that, they can lose almost equivalent weight, and so it's a personal choice as well as a choice I'll make depending on their previous surgeries and their other medical problems.
Well, who are the ideal candidates for this type of operation, weight loss surgery?
I think anybody with a body mass index of over 40, it estimates about 100 pounds overweight. If you're about 100 pounds overweight, and you may or may not even need to have other medical problems to qualify, those are the folks we tend to see. And we'll meet with them, look at those medical problems, and make sure they have coverage for the operation. If they do, and they're appropriate, we'll offer it.
All right, Janet, Kelly, how do you guys feel?
Oh, great, like $1 million.
Really? What are you able to do now that you weren't able to do before?
Walk up my driveway.
Seriously?
Without huffing and puffing, yes. That's how bad it was for me.
I can see my belt buckle. Haven't seen it in years. When I'm looking in the mirror, I could never see my belt buckle before.
Oh, you look great, both of you.
Yeah.
The best I felt in 30 years.
Yeah, keep up with it.
Yeah.
I know you have to.
Thank you, yes.
You still have to watch
hard.
what you eat.
Every day it's hard.
Right.
It's a struggle.
And I understand that there is a seminar, an upcoming workshop that's coming up, and that workshop for couples and families set for February 1st at 5:15 p.m. at the Cronin Auditorium at the Hospital of St. Raphael. You can register by phone at this number, 203-789-6237, or online at www.srhs.org/weight loss seminars. Thank you all for being here and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
Dr. Nansen, we'll see you again.
You got it. It's been a pleasure.